金色ラブリッチェ。
The next day. As for whether she was worried about what happened yesterday and whether or not my relationship with Reina was strained.
行く。
Morning.
おら、元気かい？私は元気だよ。じゃあね。
Things were spectacularly awkward. Well, yeah, given what happened.
何かございましたの？
Nothing at all. Not that I could tell people anyway.
でも様子がおかしかったですわね、キサキさん。ゆうべ、鳴沢なんちゃらとかいう芸能人が違法なバーに通っていた旨で逮捕されたそうですが、そのせいでしょうか？
Could be. There was an accident like that? I had no idea.
警察にいろいろ聞かれて疲れた。
Oh. Here was another person that would likely be awkward to deal with. As for her,
おはようございます。
yeah, good morning.
その、いい天気ですね。
Yes. Yup, this was awkward. Then again, my relationship with Jogasaki had always been somewhat snide and hostile, so this overly mindful treatment might be preferable. She was indebted to me after yesterday, and I doubted she would try to drive me away any longer. Flop.
市松さんに弱みを握られるなんて屈辱。でも仕方ありませんね。もともとクルス・クラウンさんのお知り合いというだけで手を出すには難しい相手でしたし、卒業まで我慢するほかないようです。仕方ありません。クラスに庶民が一人増えただけのこと。クラスに粗暴で下品な庶民が、クラスに粗暴で下品で犯してもらうと、すごく気持ちのいい庶民が。
I wonder what's going to happen. I wanted to fix my relationship with Reina somehow. Either way, the issue of whether she was pregnant or not came first. She was apparently going to get examined by a gynecologist in a week. That being the case, there was no action I could take for another week either. Oh, another week would be the end of the second term. Talk about crappy timing. If I sat on this too long, my ordinary relationship with Reina was liable to go straight down the drain. But if I were to act without consulting her first...
市松くん!
You scared me. A classmate suddenly came in. This is my room, you know, at least knock. Granted, there were plenty of people, namely Mina-chan and Reina, who had a free pass to come in, but still.
そんなことより、お客さん来た!
Is it Torio? Huh? Oh.
なんだよ、約束しただろ?
I had completely forgotten. Before all of that happened with Reina and Jogasaki, I guess I had made plans to meet him today. I said I'd meet him at the station, but he must have come here directly when I didn't show.
はじめまして、島くん。お噂は金がね。私、学園で市松くんと仲良くさせていただいてます。加賀芽衣子って言います。
はい。この前来た時、案内してくれた人ですよね。お世話になりました。
覚えててくれた。
Talk about a noisy onlooker. What's up? I didn't know what that important matter was that he wanted to discuss. But all Torio would do whenever I asked was to give an ambiguous laugh.
ようってほどじゃないけど、まあ、ほら、 居場所も分かったことだし、顔見に。
That's so? Well, you saw me. We done here?
と
My mind was fully preoccupied with Reina at the moment, so I didn't have the time to spare to keep him company and desperately wanted to escape. But...
くら
Eek!
島君になんちゅう言い方するんじゃい。顔見に来た。いいじゃない。見せてあげなさいよ、あと10時間くらい。
My female classmates sure were scary. Didn't look like I could manage to escape either. Talk about trouble. As for Torio, he was just plain bumbling on what he wanted to say. So I couldn't get away. The entire atmosphere between us went stagnant.
島君、お話って言うならどうかな。こんな寒いところじゃなくて。
Not in the dorm. This guy stuck out like a sore thumb, and my room was off limits.
お昼近いし、食べに行くとかは？美味しいお店知ってるの？
Ugh, the situation was becoming more and more troublesome by the second.
ああ、昼か。いいかも。どうだ、オロ。
At the moment, I'm full... She pinched my back.
市松くんも行くって。私道案内するよ。
そっか、ありがとう。
いえいえいえいえ。ね
Girls were scary. Kaga-san, I said this before, but Torio's got a girlfriend, okay? I whispered quietly.
分かってる。分かってる、あんたの言いたいことは。でも一回くらいいいじゃない。私の人生で数少ない有名人とのデートチャンス。一回くらい楽しんだっていいじゃない。ここで印象づけとけば、彼女さんと別れた時、真っ先に私に意識がいくかもですね。
Girls were scary. Why don't you and Torio go by yourselves then? I'm going to my room.
あんたがいなきゃ成立しないでしょうが。ちょっと待ってて。
For whatever reason, she dashed back toward the door.
彼女、どうかした？
Don't worry about it. Her personality is a mild condensation of the worst aspects of a woman, but she's not a bad person.
そっか。可愛い子だよな。何その顔。
Being an airhead certainly made it easier for you to seduce women.
Huh?
A certain gymnast who was famous for his impressive armpit hair was in a decade-long relationship and ended up having a kid with another woman when he was away for 3 months to train. Even after he won the gold medal, he and the baby's mother are still on bad terms.
何の話よ。
I'm just reminding you not to forget about Chieka.
シエカちゃんは今関係ないだろ。
Oh yeah, I haven't seen her lately. You two made any progress?
だから彼女は辛い時支えてくれる子だけど、別にそういう関係じゃ。お前にも悪いし、卒業するまではそういうことはないよ。
They were being considerate of me, huh? This guy was a total pain in the neck. Oh well, Chieka had taken a liking to his guileless nature, so it wasn't my place to complain. For that matter, I didn't plan to butt into anything Chieka did anymore. Oh yeah, what's she up to right now?
シエカちゃんにも連絡取ってないわけ？
We've been estranged since summer, same as you.
最近シエカちゃんからもお前の名前が出ないと思ったら連絡してやれよ。彼女も心配してるぜ。
If I feel like it.
おーい。
Kaka came back.
ごめんなさい。友達が一緒に行きたいって言うから。おごってくれるってマジたんなら一緒に。
I was at a major loss as to how to react to the person she brought along. She also froze in place when she spotted me.
2対2よ。これならいいでしょ。市松くん的にもなかなか嬉しい人選っしょ。
Kaka-san asked smugly. This was a selection that would have made me happy up until yesterday morning. Reina quickly took a step away. But
行くよレイナ。フォローよろしく。
she couldn't run away from a friend's request. Her good nature was her downfall, I guess you could say.
島くんってよく行かれるカフェとかあるんですか？
カフェみたいなおしゃれなところはどうも。練習後はみんなで銭湯にはよく行くけど。
そうなんだ。
As I watched Kaga's fierce onslaught from the sidelines, the mood on our end was equally intense. Listen, Reina.
おう、オーロ、どうしたんだい？今日はすごくいい天気だね。出かけるには最高さ。
Settle down. She didn't know how to handle the tension and was spinning her wheels in a pretty spectacular fashion.
ねこっちめ。オーロがいるなら言ってよ。
Don't be so hateful.
嫌ってないよ。ただ好きなんて言ってないかんね。
Calm down. She was still in a panic. You were calm about possibly being pregnant yesterday, so why are you freaking out about what I said now?
だって
She clapped her hands against her rosy red cheeks.
オーロはもう男友達の中じゃベストくらいに仲良かったから急にだと。
I see. That made me happy to hear. I was apparently the best of her friend group. With that being the case, it would be difficult to transition from friendship to love. The fact that I had Reina on my mind but hadn't made a move until this past week because I couldn't throw away my friendship with her was more than enough proof. What could I do about this? You know, Reina, you don't need to think about it that hard. It's not like I want us to become a couple or anything right this very second. I'm fine with the way things are now. So, well, what I'm trying to say is... I whispered into her ear. If you're not pregnant, we can pretend I never said what I did yesterday. That was how I really felt. Once I told her, Reina thought for a moment with a distressed expression and... still looking just as bothered.
無理。これまでみたいになんて見れないよ、オーロのこと。どうしても昨日の思い出しちゃうし。
I'm sure you will. I understood how she felt. If at all possible, I wished we could forget all about yesterday and carry on leisurely as friends. There were no takebacks now that we'd come this far. That's just how life was. Would there be night or a golden color that lay past it? That was the sole difference.
でも、頑張る。
Hmm?
とりあえず友達くらいで、今のオーロは OK なんよね。
Yeah.
ならまずそれは維持できるように頑張る。それ以上のことは、検査が済んだらにしよう。
That would help me out a lot too. We cut the conversation short until next week. A part of me thought, if only we took this opportunity to take one huge step forward, this would work for the time being though. We were far more comfortable going at a modest pace. In the end, the day passed with Kaga leading us all around.
じゃあ、オーロ。
Yeah.
また来てね。練習頑張って。
I saw Torio off. It occurred to me that I hadn't gotten to talk to Torio at all. Why had he even come in the first place? Hamanan typically scheduled practice for every single Sunday, and the players only had a couple of days off per year. Why would he waste such a precious day off? He went that far to come see me? Oh well, if he had something he wanted to tell me, I was sure he'd visit again. There were more important things for me to worry about right now.
おら、寒いよ。中入ろ。
Yeah. Namely, that Reina had started acting like my friend again. I was happier this way.
金色ラブリッチェ。おはよう。おはようございます。
Hey! It was a relief to see people from outside of the dorm. This had been one hectic weekend.
なんだか疲れているわね、オーラ。土日と休めなかったの？
A bunch of stuff happened, yeah.
あんなことがあっては仕方ありませんね。
Hmm?
城ヶ崎殿から事情は聞いています。
Huh?
なぜそんなに驚かれるので？
Because Jogasaki did. She told you about the threesome. Don't say that.
ん？例の香を市松殿や木崎殿が吸ってしまった旨を聞きました。大変だったでしょう。ああした薬物は自律神経などに悪影響を与えますから。
Oh, you were talking about the incense.
3P とは？
Absolutely nothing at all. She had apparently kept the threesome itself under wraps, but had told Elsan about the incense we'd breathed in.
体に変調があればおっしゃってください。すぐ医療措置を手配します。
I will. I feel fine right now.
よかった。
That was one dangerous incense. She must have been worried about my having breathed it in. I didn't want to know what would become of someone as serious as her if she were to breathe it in.
3P って何？よくは存じませんが、市松殿と城ヶ崎殿でなさったそうです。木崎殿も混ざっていたのかな？ああ、いいわね、楽しそう。ねえ、オロ、私とも 3P しましょうよ。
Yeah, let's. I'd love to if I could.
はよーし。おはよう、レナ。おはようございます。お体どこか悪いところは？寝不足くらい。はあ。
Hey. She greeted me as her cheeks flushed a light shade of pink. This was probably good enough for today. There was no need to rush.
ねえねえレイナ、今週のどこかで一緒に遊べない？ん？いいよ。なんで遊ぶ？あのね、3P！
Okay, stop. I covered her mouth.
3P？
Never mind. And then, yet another person that I felt questionably distant from had arrived.
おはようございます。はよーい。おはようございます。
Jogasaki was the same as ever to the others. She was treating Reina the same way too. They certainly weren't close enough to call each other friends, but genial classmates. Which was when? Morning. Ah. She ignored me and went off somewhere.
ありゃ、あやかっちはやっぱダメか。
She's her usual self in a sense though, ignoring me.
あやかと何かあったの？
Nothing at all. We decided to treat it like it was nothing. The way she treated me was ostensibly the same as before. Nothing happened between us, and that was for the best.
それにしては今日のあやかなんだか。顔を合わせただけでお尻がキュンキュンうついてますわ。昨日も彼のものを思って3回も自分で。私 私どうしたらいいんです。ねえねえ、ところでオーロにレイナ、二人はクリスマスって何か用事はあって？
Christmas, the 24th?
次の次の日曜日。あるっちゃあるけど、何？実はね、うちの別荘でちょっとしたパーティーを用意しているの。
簡易な式ですが、全員を招待しています。
All? Even everyone from class?
学園関係者全員。
That's 300 people. Can you book a venue like that?
うちの別荘ならそれくらいは入るわ。広いもんね、シルビンチ。
The bourgeoisie had turned up for the first time in a while.
と言っても、すでにお断りを受けたのが半分ほど。最終的にはそれほどの集いにはならないでしょうが、いかがでしょうか。
What should I do? It is Christmas and all.
市松殿は不参加ですか。残念です。
オーロ来ないの？
シルビー様、無理を言ってはなりません。
それもそうね。残念だけど仕方ないわ。オールは不参加っと。
Wait, I'm not saying I won't go. My manly pride took a bit of a hit when I instantly gave the okay after being offered the invitation. I'd assume there will be food?
最上級のものがご用意できるかと。
I'll be there then.
レーナはどう？夜だよね。ならいけると思うよ、多分。さあ、じゃあ来られたらね。
Reina's reaction was a bit poor, but Sylvie remained considerate. What did Reina have planned for Christmas, though? You have something planned? It weighed on my mind. She told me there was no man in her life, but having plans over Christmas typically meant...
次の次の日曜でしょ？検査があるの。2回目の。
I get it. When I heard Sunday, I remembered. Reina's pregnancy checkup was next Sunday, and it should tell us whether she was expecting or not at that point. However, every woman was unique in how their bodies reacted to the fertilization of the egg and any physical changes that occurred during pregnancy. The best approach was apparently to perform it 2 week and 1 month post-checkup. As far as I could tell, Reina seemed unaffected by it the first week out.
二人ともどうかしました？
Nah, nothing. It would obviously still be a delicate situation if this news got out.
むむ。
That night.
あら、
Something wrong?
ゲロ、お姉様がお呼びですわ。いつもの場所へお行きなさい。
The usual. I had gotten used to these random summons from a princess. The only difference today was in who I was dealing with.
あまり長い時間は持ちませんわ。お早めにとお伝えになって。
Sure. Mina-chan joined me outside and headed toward the city. As we did, there were signs of Mina-chan's bodyguards lurking in the shadows. Mina-chan's black-suited guards faded away. And just as they did...
こっちよ、オーラ。
Yeah. Sylvie came along to lead the way. What's up? Hard to believe you drove away the guards. There were no bodyguards with her today, not even El-san. Sylvie was alone. The black suits had been cleared out.
久しぶりにオーラと2人で話したくて。キュロちゃん、15分くらい、ね。
The final bodyguard on her person left to guard the path to the lake.
さあ、楽しみましょうか。
This is awfully elaborate. We were completely and utterly alone. This was a situation I hadn't found myself in quite some time. It got me a little tense. It's already chilly, so I can't recommend we stick around too long.
わかってる。15分で切り上げる予定よ。
I took a seat as she prepared a piping hot cup of milk tea for me.
それで、ねえねえほら、前回のお話の続きよ。
I figured that's where this was going. I knew this would happen from the second she invited me for a tea party.
レーナとの関係、何か進展があったんでしょ？お見通しよ、白状なさい。
It'd be a lie if I said there hasn't been some progress. Not that I wanted to give her any specifics. Sylvie had been curious about this particular topic since last week's tea party, but there was a clear difference between then and now. Of all the things that could have happened this week, I may have gotten Reina pregnant. Our relationship had no choice but to move forward, no matter how we may struggle otherwise.
告白はした？
You shouldn't ask something like that. Don't ask prying questions, yeesh. But yeah, I did. It wasn't something to hide either.
いいわね、告白。恋愛の醍醐味は告白よね。どんな風に？やっぱりバラに敷き詰められた教会で結婚してくださいってオーロからひざまずいて。
As if there's anyone in Japan who'd do that. There were probably only 2 or 3 like that on Earth. I can't say how I did it. I couldn't tell her we'd had sex under the influence, then I confessed to her in a panic when I realized I may have gotten her pregnant.
ならいいわ。で、レーナの返事は？
She needed more time.
レーナの態度は変わっていないから多分そうだと思ったけれど。
I couldn't say why she'd put her answer on hold, but Sylvie accepted it without an explanation.
でも大丈夫よオーロ。私そんなオーロのためにクリスマスのパーティーを企画したんだもの。
Huh? It's for me?
ええ。
I had thought this was just some princess's lark, but I'd been her central focus. It made me happy if I took this as an act of kindness, but it did put me on the spot. What is it? A dance party of sorts, I bet? Where I'm supposed to confess after the dance is over?
バラを散りばめたムードバッチリの場所を用意しておくわ。
Spare me, please. I clearly couldn't go along with that. I shook my head. It would be pointless even if she did prepare a place for me to confess. What's important right now is how Reina feels. Her feelings will determine everything. Despite how messy everything had been, I'd already said everything I needed to say. The only question left were Reina's feelings. This wasn't something I could control.
そう。レーナはなぜ保留にするか言っていた？
About that. If I were to leave out anything pregnancy related. Basically, she doesn't know if we can date because we are friends. I did think that was the biggest issue Reina was hung up on. She was worried our friendship would fall apart. I was naturally concerned by that aspect too. The biggest issue to both of us was
なにそれ？
not something that made sense to a princess.
お友達だからお付き合いできないってどういうこと？
Well, because it would change the nature of our relationship.
そんなのおかしいわ。お友達で恋人、それでいいじゃない。
It's not that simple.
簡単よ。
I was pretty serious, but she wouldn't understand. Sylvie made it sound like it were the easiest thing in the world.
要するにお友達と恋人のバランスが取れていればいいのでしょ？それってレーナの一番得意なことだわ。
Balance. I'd heard that word before. Balance, huh? Reina was good at maintaining an interpersonal balance.
まあ本人のことだから難しいこともあるかもだけど、その分はオーロがフォローしてあげて。ほらね、そしたらみんなラブラブでみんなハッピーよ。
Sylvie flashed a carefree smile. I wasn't sure I should say this to a princess, but... Sylvie, you're... I get it now. Breezy.
能天気？天気は晴れてるけど。
I don't mean the weather, I mean your personality. That's a wonderful personality trait to have.
そう？
That appeared to be all she wanted to discuss, as she took a breather and grabbed her cup of black tea. There was little we could discuss in such a short amount of time, and our 15 minutes was now up.
ねえオーロ、私、オーロもレーナも大好きよ。
I was totally used to hearing the word at this point, but it still made me blush.
私、この日本に来て毎日すごく楽しいけれど、そのうち半分くらいは2人がそばにいてくれるからだわ。私のゴールデンタイムは2人なの。クリスマス期待していて。とても楽しいパーティーを開く予定だから。
Yeah.
姫様！あ、来ちゃった。
I heard the scary person's voice.
キュロちゃん、ふえ！
Suddenly, the toy's mouth opened wide and Sylvie tossed the entire tea set inside its bowels. What? How?
じゃあオーロ、私は行くから。
Sure.
キュロちゃん、ゴー！うえー！
Once Sylvie hopped on, flames burst from Kyoto's legs and took off into the air. What the heck? That thing becomes more and more ridiculous every single day.
姫様、またベッドを抜け出して。あ、もういない。
待てー！
Sylvie and Elsan were their usual selves. With that, I headed back to the dorm. The thing that I was most mindful of in this rich girl's dorm happened around 9 o'clock each night. Everyone went to bed all at the same time, leaving the foyer empty. They had almost absurdly healthy circadian rhythms. But it wasn't as if there weren't those who didn't fit that mold. Yo, what's up?
ちょっと寝れなくてね。寒いからかな。
She was drinking a hot coffee milk. Coffee milk.
すぐ部屋戻るよ。おやすみオーロ。
Seemingly satisfied by our discussion, Reina finished her drink and stood up. Hang on a sec.
何？
I invited her to my place so we could have a leisurely chat.
こんな直球の送り狼に狙われるとは。
You followed me willingly, so I didn't drag you anywhere.
なるほど。
Reina was acting like her normal self. But you're not going to be able to sleep for a while since you just had coffee. Keep me company and let's talk.
私カフェインは全然平気な人だけど。
Yeah, I've heard Japanese people have a high tolerance for caffeine, but have trouble fending off drowsiness. The fact you were drinking that all probably means you're having trouble sleeping, right? Coffee milk was optimal for boosting her mood. Additionally, Reina chugging down a coffee milk at this hour meant she was down in the dumps. What happened?
いやー、まあね。一晩経ったらいろいろ考えてきちゃって。
She patted her belly. I got it. She was feeling anxious now that she'd found time to think. This isn't something I can really say, but all you can do for now is to wait for the results of your examination. You can think about it after. The odds of her conceiving were low, and there were plenty of paths she could take if she were to get pregnant. As such, there was nothing to worry about right now, but I bet there was still nothing she could do to help that uneasy feeling it gave her. I sat beside her. Come here.
え？あ、
I pulled her head in close and gave her a lap pillow.
この前とパターンが逆だね。
Looks like it. You can cry if you want to. I'll listen to you grumble all night long while I gently pet your head. This was payback for the last time.
口なんてないよ。
Really, personally speaking, I'd rather you cried your eyes out and made us even. It was beyond pathetic when she'd done this for me, so it'd be great if you did the same to put us on equal ground, Reina.
いらない。別に言いたい愚痴とかないし。ただ、頭は撫でてほしいかな。
Reina spun herself around. She rolled over and faced my stomach.
撫でて。
On it, on it. I mimicked what she'd done for me last time and stroked her hair. Reina's flashy bleached hair was surprisingly glossy and pleasant to touch. Reina looked like she was enjoying it.
膝枕って強烈だね。
Definitely. Makes sense why I fell for you, doesn't it?
私のこと好きって、もしかして膝枕きっかけ？
It was certainly a big part of it.
うわぁ、オーロさん、意外と甘えん坊ちゃんですか？
I'm telling you, there was more to it than that. I covered my face with my other hand as I whisked my fingers through her hair. You're a cheerful, kind, and considerate person. I'm sure I was drawn to you ever since we became friends. I love you, Reina. I confessed to her all over again. I was a total natural now and managed to say it without flubbing my words. It wasn't haphazard like the last time, and I'd managed to profess my love to her anew. What was her answer? I shyly pulled my hand away from my face. And Reina? No way. Had fallen asleep. You dozed off, with the mood we had going. I managed to deliver a super impressive confession too. Unlike the last time, I was a huge bundle of nerves. Was this the relaxing effect of coffee milk? She was legitimately out cold. Yeesh! Not much I could do if she'd fallen asleep. I laid her down in bed. I slipped her under the covers so she wouldn't catch a cold. As for me, guess I'd sleep over here. I brought a blanket over to the sofa with me. Hoo boy. I bundled up and laid down. We'd had a great thing going just now. But something told me I was being a little too hasty. Balance was difficult.